It's good to have you stop by, friend. I appreciate all your support and all your encouragement to my channel. Today we're making a very delicious Nigerian recipe, Ofe Akwu. I'll share the ingredient list as the cooking progresses. Try and hang around till the end. Let's make this gourmet recipe. This is palm nut cream. Yes, this is what is used to process palm oil. So I'll be needing like a little bit more than half for the recipe I'm making today. So I scoop it this way. I like to add hot water to let the cream dissolve nicely. If you're using freshly processed palm cream, you do not go through this process because you're working with a thinned down palm cream. One good thing going for Ofe Akwu is the fact that you make it without addition of tomatoes. Ofe Akwu, as you know, if you're Nigerian, this is a southeast Nigerian recipe. I'm using roasted goat meat for this recipe. Please feel free to use any protein of your choice, provided it's not fresh fish. This goat meat is very hard or it's very tough, so I pre-cooked it for a while, roasted it in the oven, and it's still tough, so I want to cook it for a while before I add the other ingredients. So the liquid I added after the goat meat was the stock, the leftover stock. When I boiled goat meat, I just added onions and I'll let it cook and then soften a little bit more. The roasting of this goat meat adds a lot of good flavors to this stew or soup, whatever you call it. This is stew and it is soup too. So in goes some salt, and I cover the pot and let the meat cook. The other ingredients for this Ofe Akwu are roasted mackerel. I have my stockfish bits. This packs a lot of good umami flavor to this Ofe Akwu. I shall also be using onions, habanero peppers, the scented type, 𝐬𝐤𝐝𝐢𝐚. If you're watching as a non-Nigerian, 𝐬𝐤𝐝𝐚 is a fermented, flavor-enhancing local item that we add to some soups from the southeast and south part of Nigeria. So this does a lot of good things, in local soups, just like the fermented locust beans that is also popular, in West African cuisine. So I shall be blending these three items together before adding it to the soup. If you have watched up till this time and you have not subscribed, come on now, click the subscribe button and join the family. That way, whenever I upload a new video, you'll be among the first to be notified, okay? Thank you. "15 minutes later, I checked to see how the meat has softened, and it has softened good enough for me to add the next set of ingredients. So in goes the roasted fish and the stockfish. I try to push the stockfish and the fish into the simmering stock so that the flavors of everything will combine well. At this time, I add the blended 𝐬𝐤𝐝𝐚, the onion, and the scented habanero peppers. And of course, I combine everything well. You have to combine, okay? I didn't always know about Ofe Akwu. Of course, I grew up in a different state with a slightly different types of recipes. I got introduced to Ofe Akwu after I got married. And my mother-in-law, being a caterer, she makes all types of fancy foods and very ethnic meals too. And she makes the best Ofe Akwu. I fell in love with this delicacy. After 15 minutes of boiling the stockfish and the dried fish, it's time to add the creamy akwu sauce. When you pour this, ensure that you don't pour it to the base, because you could have sandy particles like I just showed you. Is it just me? If you have been cooking with clay pot, can you share your experience with me? If you have made these local cuisines with clay pot, I think it has a way of adding some good taste, you know, and also enables the soup to thicken a little bit, you know, faster. I just added a crayfish tablet. That's my preferred seasoning to support the okwe in this recipe. The consistency for this soup is not too thick, not too liquidy like pepper soup. Different people have their preference, you know, in the thickening issue. I know that I don't like it very liquidy. I also do not like it very thick. I add blended herring. I add blended crayfish. Of course, crayfish does a lot in enhancing the flavor, so I add a little bit more crayfish to this soup. It's time to add the onions, so that as it cooks, it will still be a bit visible when you're eating it. If you add it too early, it will dissolve into the stew. If you have I don't like to see onions, of course you have to add it a little bit earlier than now, but I like adding it towards when it's like a few more minutes to the end of the cooking. This Ofe Akwu smells amazing. The smell in this kitchen is like the smell from grandma's kitchen when grandma is making Ofe Akwu, authentic Ofe Akwu. I want to say I'm very proud of myself. This Ofe Akwu is showing up very well. At this time, I hope you have subscribed. Subscribe and support the ministry. God bless you. This is the 𝐬𝐤𝐚𝐥 scent leaves I shall be adding to this Ofe Akwu. This is frozen 𝐬𝐤𝐚𝐥. It was green and good. I harvested it from my garden. I found that I have quite a lot in the freezer, so I decided to make use of this one. This smells good. Thank you so much for watching till here, okay? Friends, our Ofe Akwu is ready. It was served with white boiled rice, and this finished quickly. Thanks for watching. God bless you till my next video. Bye.